The Future of Education for the E-Learner by Michelle Taylor. E-learners of the future need to be able to search the vast amounts of knowledge and information and be able to understand and absorb it. Students need to be trained to be autonomous learners. In a time where information is abundant and readily available through various forms of technology, it becomes more difficult for schools to continue on in their traditional roles. Learning for students is changing, most likely forever. Within the next 10 years, there will be significant changes within educational institutions. Relationships with students, teachers, and the future workers of tomorrow will be transformed. Technology such as consumer IT, open platforms, and cloud technology signal changes in the e-learner's use of technology, as well as changes in teaching and learning methods. Examples of consumer IT include mobile phones and social communities. In the future, mobile devices will transform education, allowing learning anytime, anywhere, and on any device. In the future, there will be a wider acceptance of digital and social communities, due mainly to mobility and globalization. In terms of future classroom experience, the e-learner will have a greater use of inexpensive, personal, social networking tools and channels that will deliver both formal and informal content. Within the next 3 to 10 years, e-learners will commonly utilize elements such as wikis, tagging, blogs, social networking, instant messaging, video conferencing, and virtual worlds. In addition to open mobile computing platforms, educational institutions will be more open and collaborative to their students in the future. Cloud computing will very likely have a transformative impact on future education. Cloud computing has different definitions, but the definition that makes the most sense refers to an internet-scale data center. E-learners of the future will likely have access to various forms of technology such as mobile phones and PDAs to utilize in school. They will likely be able to communicate easily with teachers and classmates via video connection. E-learners of the future will have access to people, resources, and information from around the globe that will help them to create a personalized path for individual learning. Some European teachers suggest that over the next 10 to 20 years, there will be major changes to learning. Future learning objectives will focus more on e-learners' competencies, such as problem solving and collaboration, rather than simply on the acquisition of knowledge. Future teaching will be more student-centered. Learning will be better fit to the individual's needs. E-learners will be encouraged to develop their own talents and interests, and learning will be more active and constructive, and will be connected to real life. E-learners will learn together in a local and a global community. Technology will be an integral part of future learning and daily life. Therefore, e-learners need to obtain the necessary skills to use various technologies effectively. A future where students carry personal media and text in digital form seems imminent. The Horizon Report suggests some technologies that will be utilized more often in education in the future by teachers and students. Over the next year, there will be more use of electronic books and mobile phones in education. Within the next 3 years, there will be a widespread increase in augmented reality and game-based learning. Finally, within the next 5 years, there will be the widespread adoption of gesture-based computing and learning analytics. E-learners of the future will more readily find these technologies available for learning. Within the next 10 years, changes will be seen in all levels of education, from preschool to university. By 2020, there will be more emphasis on basic cognitive capabilities and the social collaboration skills of preschool learners. The simple transfer of knowledge environment will decrease. Primary learners will find themselves in more computer-based environments, where games and simulations will be used to develop social and cognitive skills. Secondary school learners will see computer-supported problem-based learning modes become more dominant modes of learning by the year 2020. Learning will extend across schools, regions, and countries. Post-secondary learning will focus on two areas: learner-centric self-development and more formal education. E-learners in tertiary education will be mainly focused on the collaborative creation of knowledge and will move away from purely individualistic models. They will learn the appropriate skills for jobs within society. The goal of tertiary education will be integrating education and global knowledge networks. Finally, by 2020, all e-learners will need to be lifelong learners because the society will require constant upgrading of skills and acquisition of new skills. With ICT-enabled communities becoming the dominant source of education, we will see practical knowledge emerging rapidly and having short lifetimes. Although the future is not a certainty, we can point to trends in hopes of enlightening and preparing for what might come to pass in the future. Ideas of work and education are beginning to change. The future is one of collaboration that will occur on a global stage. How will students learn in the future in a classroom where the walls no longer matter?